Hello, everyone. How's it going? Sarah Eggleston, and we're back with another This Week in Housing. I'd like to thank you for joining me today, and I'll go ahead and get right into it. Screen share. And there we go. All right, so on This Week in Housing, there honestly wasn't a ton this week to cover, but there were a few things. And so the federal agent, I briefly mentioned this last week in my mortgage update, but the federal agency delays surprise mortgage refinancing fee. They put out another article about this on the 30th. And so there was a new fee that was supposed to go in place that was 0.5% on refinances. And so not home purchases, it was just for refinances. And they announced it in August to start in September. So that meant that a lot of the people that were under contract already had their rate locked in with their lender. They were going to be charged a different amount at the closing table. And there was a lot of pushback from that in the financial industry. So, I mean, it was mainly just due to the short notice that people were so upset because, I mean, it's a huge amount on a $125,000 home or purchase. It would be, I said, like $1,200. So, or no, that's not right. Anyways, but it was a pretty, I think I have it on my next slide actually. Yeah, on a $300,000 purchase, it was $1,500 in costs. So this is a pretty significant amount, 0.5% from a home purchase. And to have it just thrown in mid-August to say, oh, we're starting this in September, that means a lot of people that already have their rates locked in, their lender wouldn't be able to, uphold that lock-in rate easily. So they have extended that to December 1st instead. And it's to cover all of the fees to cover all the COVID-19 losses. So they've lost at least $6 billion for these enterprises, and they're just trying to find a way to recover that. But if you announce a new fee on August 12th to start September 1st, that really throws a loop into those people that are in the middle of refinancing during that time period and already have their rates locked in. So yeah, that's been extended to December, and so that's a really good thing. And last week we talked about how rates had fallen again to 2.91, and now we are at 2.93 for the 30-year home. So it ticked up just a little bit for the 30-year. However, the 15-year fixed went down from 2.42 to 2.46. So you can see they're it's kind of hanging out around the same rate. Housing demand continues to be one of the bright spots in the pandemic hobbled economy. And it really is one of the strongest sectors in our economy right now. There's so many sectors that are struggling hardcore, but the housing market has remained strong. So this is from the John L. Scott, Chairman and CEO, Jay Lennox Scott. This is our monthly update from him. And we are virtually sold out in South King County. This says Southeast King County, but the description for Southwest King County is exactly the same. So 98% of sales activity happens under $1 million in that area. And we're in a severe shortage of inventory in all those categories. If you get over 1 million, those houses are sitting on the market a little bit longer, but anything under 1 million is selling like hotcakes, which is pretty mind-blowing that 85.3% of the homes that went pending in this area, or of the homes that were listed in this area, went pending within the first 30 days. So this is just an extreme frenzy. There's a lot of buyers out there and not a lot of inventory. So this is our general six phases to the yearly housing cycle document. So this is what would normally happen on an average year. You can see this is 2013 through 2017, and these are new listings coming to the market. And we kind of start out low in January and start to get more listings on the market, have more in inventory in the spring and summer, and then they kind of dwindle down for the winter cleanup. However, this year, this is where we were at. We were way down here. And now we've kind of popped up and we're meeting up with the old line. So this is interesting to me. I thought it would probably keep going up for another month. That was my guess as far as what we're going to see. I guess just because I have my finger on the pulse of the energy in the market, and there's the energy in the market right now is so intense. Like, I was out with a couple of buyers this morning, and every house we were looking at had multiple offers on it already. There was one listing in Auburn recently that a friend of mine had, and they got 18 offers on a house in Auburn. And so I'm just mind blown at how strong the buyer demand is and how short of supply our houses are. So you can see the new listings, we actually dropped down from where we were before for residential, and pending is still staying strong. Condos, we actually didn't get as many new listings this week as we did the week before, but if we bring those together, we have 902 new listings in King County for the past 7 days, 1,381 pendings, and 994 sold. So if we break that into our graph, you can see that we've kind of ticked down on our new listings here on the blue. But we are going up on the pending. So like I said, the energy within the last, I'd say 15 days or so, it's like somebody turned up the volume and it's crazy now. So new listings, 2020, you can see we're still ahead of where we were at this time period in 2019. And pendings is also above where we were. We've been above on pendings for the last several weeks. And solds is kind of flirting with this other line. This past week, we actually had more sold in 2019 than in 2020. So, yeah. And this is for the Northwest MLS. So this is basically Western Washington. So as far as showing stats, this is for North America, so nationwide, well, US and Canada. The orange is this year and the blue is last year, and you can see this is the huge dip when the pandemic started getting bad. And we've been hanging out above last year's line in showings for quite a bit now, and a few months. And I kind of expect that to continue with the buyer demand that's in the area. I do think we will continue to see more showing activity this year than we saw last year. And as far as layoffs, Layoffs decreased in Washington this past week by 0.5%. So not a huge decrease, but at least it was a decrease. And that's not necessarily the case in some of the other states in our union. You can see California is being hit really hard over here. So yeah, anyways, we are kind of right in the middle of the road. You see some blue, some orange and red, but we are in the gray, which means that we're pretty much maintaining. And no, I didn't have a ton for you this week, but if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I am here to help, and I would love to talk about what is going on in the real estate market in your specific area. So please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or need clarification on any of the stuff I covered today. And I would like to thank you so much for joining me for This Week in Housing this week. And I will be back here at 3 p.m. next Friday. All right. Thank you so much for joining me and have a great day.